and Jalen's 2013 NBA Preview.
The suddenly kind of sort of hopeful Cleveland Cavaliers. A little tiny bit hopeful.
Kyrie, get buckets.
It's hard to capture the collective mindset of a city that's endured as much trauma as Cleveland sports fans over the last 50 years, but we're going to try.
Yeah. Only L could get away with that.
You know who this is directed at, Jalen?
Do you know LeBron?
Who do you love, LeBron?
This is part of LeBron James recruiting video.
Who do you love, LeBron? Are you for sure, LeBron? You for sure staying in Miami?
That's classic material right there.
It's a great one. LeBron needs to decide how he wants the second half of his career to play out. Does he want to stay in Miami with Wade, who might be breaking down, with Bosh, who isn't as good as he was 2 years ago? Try to be a dynasty there? Does he want to go to the Lakers? Or does he want to go home where he has a 30,000-foot house?
MVP, greatest of all time, conversation, change of the century type players don't want to play for multiple teams.
Usually it's one or two. Cleveland, Miami, then he goes to Lakers. That'd be three before.
He's not going to the Lakers.
The Laker fans think that.
That's not happening.
Well, you got to break the news to the Laker fans.
LeBron James will not be signing with the Lakers.
I want to see what they did last summer because they did so much. Can't even keep track. Look at all this. Andrew Bynum. Now the asterisk there is for, they have multiple outs in that contract. They could get out in January for $6 million. They could get out after the year for 12. They could pay him for 2 years. So it's hard to say. Jared Jack, slight overpay.
That's not an overpay. That's a good number for who I consider is the best backup point guard in the entire NBA.
I don't know if Jared Jack considers himself that, though.
He doesn't start, but he finishes. Remember, when you have a guard like Kyrie Irving, the strength of both of these young players' games is actually scoring. They don't look to defend the other top elite point guard because they want to keep them fresh for offense. That's where Jared Jack comes in. And also, he provides another ball handler. I think he's going to be the sixth man of the year this year in the league.
I think he's that guy in pickup who it seems like he's bigger than he is, but then his team keeps losing 11-10. And you're like, why'd they lose? Oh, because Jared Jack took the last 4 shots of the game because he thinks he's Michael Jordan.
This is all about a couple of things. We know Kyrie Irving blossomed into an all-star, terrific player. Deion Wade is going to continue to improve, show he can score the basketball. I like him as a young player. The two things that has to happen for this team is you need Anthony Bennett to perform like a #1 pick, and you need Andrew Bynum to be a game-changing center. Do you think that can happen with Andrew Bynum?
No. No, I don't. I don't think he's ever going to have another meaningful NBA moment. Big guys don't get better when they start breaking down. And Verja gets hurt every year. He misses between 20 and 50 games.
You feel Andrew Bynum is going to wear his hair like Richard Pryor anytime this year?
That'd be great. Which Richard Pryor hairdo, though?
As long as it's slicked down.
Oh, the slick down Richard Pryor. So this is a team that I think people are going to have trouble predicting because they could go in so many different directions. Look at all the expirings they have. Potentially, Bynum, who could be traded like an expiring, Verjav's an expiring. They could put together $25 million. In my opinion, this is another Rudy Gay team.
If you can't get LeBron, go after Rudy Gay.
Well, if you think in like January or February you're not going to get him, then you got to make an audible move. They brought Mike Brown back, which I think is weird.
No, that's a terrific move.
It's a terrific move?
It is. The one thing people refuse to do in life a lot of times is acknowledge they make a mistake.
Okay.
They acknowledge that they made a mistake. He's the best coach in the franchise. He's had the best win percentage in the team's franchise. He actually is a good leader and he teaches defense.
Yeah, and doesn't run plays.
Kyrie.
So same mentality as when he had LeBron, where it's like, here, LeBron, figure it out, buddy. I'm not going to help you in any conceivable way.
When you got a guy with the ball that can make a play, you can't micromanage it.
Well, let's look at Zach Lowe's big question.
That's a great question.
So what happens,
Get
Jalen?
low, get low. You know who voice that is?
Who?
Yin Yang Twins. Get low, get low. You think Zach heard of them?
I'd say it's 50-50. So the Cavs want a playoff spot. They have a bunch of expiring contracts. They have a bunch of young players. They have some picks. They have all the assets in place to make a move. What happens if they start poorly?
You beg LeBron as much as possible.
What if Kobe can't come back until December or January, and Pau Gasol suddenly becomes available as a rental?
Do it.
See, that's the trade I think they should make.
Do it.
Cleveland Bill got so excited by the Pau Gasol talk. If Kobe doesn't come back in time, I think the Cavs make a play for Gasol. And it would be a very, very, very interesting move. I don't know if you'd be happy with that. Verjao plus maybe Deion Waiters.
I would do that. That's a good one. That makes sense for both sides. For the Lakers, you get you a young shooting guard. Eventually got to replace Kobe Bryant and or have somebody to play with Kobe Bryant. You get another big that's going to still be productive in Verjao, and you can assign him to another
Or maybe
contract.
you don't have to give up that much. Maybe it's just Verjao and your 2014 number one. You trade out of that draft.
I
You
like
don't need
that.
more young players.
I like that. Does Clairvoyant Bill think this is Pau Gasol's last year with the Lakers? That's really the key.
He doesn't have an opinion on that. Here's what Clairvoyant Bill thinks about the Cavs. Andrew Bynum will play less than 15 games as a Cleveland Cavalier.
That's not good. That would really sabotage their team this year. When you have a lower extremity injury, you can't train. You can't stay in shape.
And also when you don't have the work ethic to try to stay in shape. Let's say Kobe had that injury. Kobe would be like, all right, well, I'll swim for 2 months and stay in shape that way. And the doctor will be like, well, just swim for an hour. And Kobe will be like, all right. And he swims for 5. Andrew Bynum's not doing that. Andrew Bynum's like, hey, is that drive-thru still open? Does it close at 2? I don't remember. It's 2:02. Can we go there? Yeah, I don't see it. Sorry, Andrew Bynum. I'm sure Kirk Goldsberry has an awesome graphic about somebody in the Cavs. Let's see who he picked. It's our friend Kyrie Irving.
Wow, what a versatile player.
A lot of green, though. Green's not a great sign. Why is he half decent around the basket, Jalen?
He's not playing with anybody that gets double teamed. That's why they wanted to bring in Andrew Bynum.
Look at the red at the top of the key.
On fire!
That is ridiculous. Kyrie got 39% from 3 last year. And in my opinion, this is one of those things where the stats don't totally capture it, because I'm sure he took threes with 2 seconds on the shot clock, 1 second. Like, I'm sure when he's wide open, the numbers got to be higher than that. So year 2, 22.5 points a game. Only 5.9 assists. Compare him to Kevin Johnson year 2, who I think is his doppelganger. 20.4 points, 12.2 assists. Tim Hardaway year 2, 22.9 points, 9.7 assists. Is Kyrie just a scoring guard who happens to bring the ball up, or is he a real point guard?
He's a real point guard. His number one strength is scoring. And so when you're playing on a team that's down 10 points after the first quarter, you're not giving it up anymore because you're the one that got to sit on the podium and talk about why the team lost.
What do we think that Bennett kid could do for him?
They had to take a chance on a player that can be the kind of guy that can get you 15, 20 points in a quarter.
You and I were part of history. We were at the 2013 draft. I had so much fun working that, by the way. That was so much fun,
right?
Reese
Are they
did all
going to
the hard
invite us
work.
back?
I hope so. We got to use that big board.
We got to hang out with Jay Billis and talk about Wingspan.
Jay Billis is the best. The Nets fans were super nice to us, but we ended up inadvertently becoming part of history because they shocked everybody by taking Anthony Bennett. We were at that draft, people were talking he might drop to like 6 or 7, and instead, this is what happened.
With the first pick in the 2013 NBA Draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select...
But wait, pause.
Anthony Bennett of Toronto, Canada, and the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
Yeah, I'm really proud of that well. I really feel like I was part of history, Jalen. That's my well. Oh, Nerlens. Poor Nerlens.
But how David Stern sold that as a commissioner is what makes him the greatest commissioner of professional sports. He knew that was a surprising pick. You see how he pumped up the crowd? Yeah! Give the people what they want.
I can't even imagine where you're going on this one. What is it like to champagne and campaign in Cleveland?
In Cleveland, you got to kick it in the flats. There they are.
Oh.
Yeah!
It looks fun in the flats.
I like kicking it in the flats. It's blue collar. Got Lake Michigan right there. I had a lot of fun in the flats.
Okay.
Stay at a nice Ritz downtown.
Yeah.
That's connected to the mall.
I've logged some time in that mall.
Big shot, Cleveland.
What was the triangle the most excited about? Gee, I wonder. Oh, did you follow this story? Tristan Thompson shot free throws left-handed, and now he's going to shoot them right-handed. And the thing is, Tristan Thompson was pretty good in the second half of last season. He was like a double-double guy. Now he's switching the way he shoots free throws. Jalen, You're very protective of left-handers.
If it takes you this long to figure out which hand you want to shoot with, that says something about his mental, and hopefully as a young player, he's mentally strong to be able to deal with the adversity that comes with being a professional player.
Let's look at a 24-second shot clock. Cleveland Cavaliers, your prediction for the season?
They will be between 6th and 8th in the playoff hunt in the Eastern Conference.
So you disagree with my ranking of them as 21?
I disagree with
You think
your
that was
ranking.
way too low?
I'm saying that not only I disagree, you got them in the 20s, and I'm saying they're going to make the playoffs.
I think they are going to miss the playoffs, and I think it's going to be one of those seasons where about halfway through they realize that they should just bail and start thinking about the summer of 2014.
I disagree with where you have them ranked.
And don't forget that God hates Cleveland. That can't be forgotten for a second. Come back to Bill and Jalen's NBA preview as we have the number 20 team. Jalen, we might be taking a trip to Chocolate City.
Let's get it.